Imagine waking up tomorrow and checking your bank account. $0. No savings. No investments. No emergency fund. No rich parents. No secret business waiting for you. Just you, your skills, your phone, and 24 hours in the day. What would you do? Most people would probably start searching for the fastest way to make money. Best side hustle in 2026. How to make $10,000 a month. Passive income ideas. Best stocks to buy. And that sounds logical. But if I actually had to start from $0 in 2026, I wouldn't start by investing. I wouldn't start by buying crypto. I wouldn't start by building a complicated business. And I definitely wouldn't spend 6 months looking for the perfect side hustle. I would do something much less exciting. I would build a machine that turns time and skills into cash, then cash into assets, and eventually assets into freedom. And I'd do it in a very specific order. Because when you're starting from zero, the biggest mistake isn't choosing the wrong investment. It's trying to build wealth before you built the ability to generate money consistently. So if I had to start from $0 today, here's exactly how I think about it. Here's the first psychological trap. When people have no money, they often think about money in terms of big numbers. They see someone making $20,000 a month online and think, I need that. They see someone investing $5,000 every month and think, I need to learn investing. They see a millionaire driving an expensive car and think, I need a business. But starting from zero changes the game. If you have $0, your first goal isn't to become rich. Your first goal is to create positive cash flow. That's it. Because $100 saved from income is more powerful for you right now than a 20% return on an investment you don't have money to make. Think about it. If you have $100 invested and it grows 20%, you've made $20. But if you learn a skill that helps you earn an extra $500 every month, you've created another $6,000 a year. That's why I'd focus on income first. Not because investing doesn't matter. It absolutely does. But investing becomes dramatically more powerful after you have something to invest. So my first question wouldn't be, what should I invest in? It would be, how can I become more valuable? If I had $0, I'd spend the first few weeks aggressively improving one skill that businesses and people are willing to pay for. And notice the word 1. Not 10. This is where people get distracted. Monday, they want to learn coding. Tuesday, video editing. Wednesday, copywriting. Thursday, dropshipping. Friday, AI automation. By the weekend, they've learned a little about everything and can sell nothing. That's the skill collector trap. You feel productive because you're learning. But learning isn't the same as becoming valuable. So I'd pick one skill with 3 characteristics. It's useful. It's measurable. And someone is already paying for it. For example, video editing, graphic design, sales, copywriting, programming, AI-assisted content creation, digital marketing, data analysis, or even a practical local skill. The exact skill matters less than people think. What matters is whether the skill solves a problem. Because that's what money really is. Money is often the reward for solving problems that other people don't want to solve themselves. A business doesn't pay you $500 because you worked hard. It pays you because what you did was worth $500 to the business. That's a completely different mindset. Instead, I'd ask, what problem can I solve? Imagine 2 people. Person A says, I want to make money online. Person B says, I can edit short-form videos that help local businesses get more attention. Who sounds easier to hire? Person B. Because there's a specific problem and a specific solution. So if I had $0, I'd spend my first phase becoming useful enough that someone has a reason to pay me. and I wouldn't wait until I felt ready. This is another psychological trap. You think you need to become an expert before asking someone for money. You don't. You need to become useful. There's a huge difference. I'd learn from free resources. I'd practice every day. I'd create sample work. I'd study businesses that already use the skill. And then I'd start offering it. At first, I might get ignored. Some people might say no. Some might never respond. That's normal. The goal isn't to get rich from the first client. The goal is to prove one thing. Someone is willing to exchange money for something I can do. That first $50 can be more psychologically important than the next $5,000. Because it changes your identity. You stop thinking, I don't know how to make money. And start thinking, I can create money by creating value. Now let's say I manage to make my first few $100s. This is where many people make another mistake. They celebrate by increasing their lifestyle. New phone, better clothes, restaurants, subscriptions, maybe even a car payment. And suddenly the money disappears. This happens because humans are extremely good at adapting. You get a little more money, and your brain quickly decides that the new level is normal. This is called lifestyle inflation. If you earn $500 more every month and immediately spend $500 more every month, your income increased. But your financial freedom didn't. So if I were starting from zero, I'd create a rule. Every increase in income gets a job before it gets spent. Some money goes toward survival. Some toward building a safety net. Some toward improving my ability to earn. And eventually, some toward investments. I keep my lifestyle boring while my financial foundation becomes strong. Because when you're starting from zero, looking rich is one of the most expensive hobbies you can have. My next target would be a small emergency fund. Not $100,000. Not a perfect 6-month financial fortress. Just enough to stop one bad week from destroying everything. Because imagine you're making $1,000 a month from your work, then suddenly your phone breaks. Or your laptop stops working. Or you have an unexpected bill. Without savings, you might have to borrow money. Then interest starts working against you. You recover. And then another emergency happens. This creates a cycle. No savings, debt, stress, lower flexibility, more debt. An emergency fund breaks that cycle. And psychologically, it does something even more important. It gives you breathing room. When every dollar you earn is already committed, you can't think clearly. You're constantly reacting. But once you have some cash sitting there for emergencies, you can make decisions based on what's best, instead of what's urgent. That's a huge difference. If I had expensive consumer debt, especially high-interest debt, I'd make getting rid of it a priority. Because there's something psychologically strange about debt. When you owe money, your future income already has a destination. You haven't earned next month's money yet. But part of it is already promised to someone else. That's why getting out of high-interest debt can feel like receiving a raise. You're not technically earning more. You're simply keeping more of what you already earn. And I'd avoid the temptation to make this complicated. I wouldn't try to optimize 20 different financial accounts. I'd focus on one simple objective. Increase the gap between what comes in and what goes out. That gap is the engine of wealth. Let's say months have passed. I now have a useful skill, a source of income, some emergency savings, less or no expensive debt, and, most importantly, proof that I can generate money. Now I'd start thinking about investing. And here's where the boring answer becomes incredibly powerful. I wouldn't try to predict the next stock that will explode. I wouldn't spend every night watching market charts. I wouldn't make my financial future depend on guessing what happens next month. I'd focus on owning productive assets for the long term. For many people, that could mean diversified, low-cost investments such as broad market index funds, depending on their country, taxes, goals, and risk tolerance. The important idea isn't the specific investment. It's the behavior. Regularly putting money into assets that can grow over time. Because now something magical starts happening. Your money is no longer sitting still. It begins working alongside you. If I had to start from zero, I'd become obsessed with reaching my first meaningful financial milestone. Maybe that's $1,000. Then $5,000, then $10,000. Not because these numbers magically make you rich. They don't. But milestones change your psychology. When you have $0, every problem feels huge. When you have $500, you have options. When you have $5,000, you have more breathing room. When you have $10,000 invested or saved, depending on your situation, something else starts happening. You begin to understand that wealth isn't created by one giant financial decision. It's created by repeating small decisions for a very long time. And that's when I'd stop asking, how can I make money quickly? And start asking, how can I make this system stronger? Here's where I would make another major move. I'd try to create a second source of income. But I wouldn't randomly start another business. I'd build something connected to the first skill. Let's say I started with video editing. Eventually, I could move from editing videos to managing content, to creating a small agency, to building digital products, or creating my own content. The point isn't to chase every opportunity. It's to stack advantages. One skill helps you earn. The income helps you save. The savings help you invest. The experience helps you increase your skill. The skill helps you earn more. And the cycle repeats. That's a wealth-building flywheel. And because we're talking about 2026, I'd take AI seriously. But not in the way social media often presents it. I wouldn't think, AI is going to make me rich. I'd think, AI can help me become more productive. That's different. Imagine two freelancers. One spends 5 hours researching a client project. The other uses AI to organize information, generate initial ideas, automate repetitive tasks, and speed up research, while still checking the quality of the final work. If the second person can deliver the same valuable result faster, their economics can become much better. That's the opportunity. AI isn't necessarily the business. AI can be the leverage inside the business. And if you're starting from zero, leverage matters. Because you don't have much capital. So you need to use what you do have, your time, your skills, your attention, your creativity, and technology. Now here's the part people usually don't want to hear. If I were starting from $0 in 2026, there are several things I'd actively avoid. I wouldn't gamble my emergency money on crypto. I wouldn't borrow money to look successful. I wouldn't buy expensive courses just because someone rented a Lamborghini for a thumbnail. I wouldn't jump from side hustle to side hustle every 2 weeks. I wouldn't spend hours watching get rich quick videos. And I wouldn't compare my chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Because comparison creates one of the most dangerous emotions in personal finance. Impatience. You see someone who already has millions. You don't see the years behind the number. You see the house. You don't see the mortgage. You see the business. You don't see the failed businesses. You see the portfolio. You don't see the decades of contributions. And then you decide you're behind. You're not necessarily behind. You're just earlier in the process. If I had to summarize my entire strategy in one sentence, it would be this. Make more than you spend, protect the difference, and invest the difference consistently. That's it. Simple doesn't mean easy. The hard part is behavioral. Because every time your income rises, your brain will try to convince you that your lifestyle should rise too. You get a raise. Suddenly you want a better apartment, a better phone, a better car. more subscriptions, more vacations, more everything. And if your spending grows as quickly as your income, you're running faster without moving forward. So I'd try something different. Every time my income increased, I'd let my lifestyle rise slowly while my savings and investments rise faster. That's how the gap gets wider. And the wider the gap becomes, the more freedom you create. Here's the deeper lesson. Building wealth isn't primarily a math problem. It's a behavior problem. Most people already know they should spend less. They know they should save. They know investing exists. They know debt can be expensive. The problem is doing these things repeatedly when nobody is watching. Because personal finance rewards boring consistency. There is no notification saying congratulations, you didn't buy that unnecessary $300 purchase today. There is no applause when you invest every month. Nobody sees your emergency fund. Nobody compliments your retirement account. And that's exactly why it works. Wealth is often built quietly. You make a smart decision today, then another one next month, then another one next year. And eventually, the results become visible. So, if I had to start from absolutely zero in 2026, my roadmap would look something like this. Phase 1. Survive. Get stable. Control unnecessary spending. Find income. Avoid adding expensive debt. Phase 2. Become valuable. Pick one useful skill. Practice it aggressively. Get real-world experience. Turn that skill into income. Phase 3. Create breathing room. Build an emergency fund. Pay down expensive debt. Keep lifestyle inflation under control. Phase 4. Start owning assets. Invest consistently according to my goals, risk tolerance, and local financial situation. Don't obsess over predicting the market. Focus on long-term ownership. Phase 5. Increase the machine. Improve the skill. Increase income. Build a second income stream. Use technology and AI for leverage. Phase 6. Protect the progress. Don't let a higher income turn into a higher dependency on expensive things. Because making money is one skill. Keeping and growing it is another. And here's the part one thing most people get wrong. If I woke up tomorrow with $0, I wouldn't be scared of the number. I'd actually find it strangely motivating. Because starting from zero forces you to focus on the things that matter. You can't hide behind a big investment portfolio. You can't depend on passive income you haven't built. You can't pretend you're wealthy because you have an expensive car. You have to start with the fundamentals. Create value, earn, save, invest, repeat, and eventually, something changes. At first, you're working for every dollar. Then your skills start working for you. Then your savings start working for you. Then your investments start working for you. And one day, you realize the goal was never really to become rich. The goal was to reach the point where money stops controlling every decision you make. That's what I'd build from $0. Not overnight wealth. Not a lottery ticket. Not a shortcut. A system. Because if you can build the system from nothing, you don't just build money. You build the ability to create it again. And that may be the most valuable financial asset you can ever have.